Hampshire, of course, you're never really a native, but that doesn't mean you can't get real comfortable up there. The Granite State manages to feel right to newcomers and old-timers alike, and we met both when we traveled 5 miles down the Androscoggin from Berlin to Gorham. Five miles down the Androscoggin and away from the mill of Berlin is Gorham. Nestled in the river valley east of the presidential range, it is a small community of some 2,000 people. Like Berlin, the railroad put Gorham on the map in 1851. Back then, travelers, a new class of transients, visited the Alpine House, a luxury hotel built at an unheard-of cost of $20,000. By the mid-1800s, Gorham was known as the gateway to the White Mountains. Tourism became big business for this small town. Most people who live in Gorham are born and raised here, but there are a few, like Joe and Mary Ann Semino, who visited the area as tourists and decided to stay. Moving from Derby, Connecticut 3 years ago, they brought their trade of stained glass making with them. Do they feel like natives yet?
Not yet. You know, it takes time.
It
you know,
takes
you have
a while
to
get accepted up here by the town people.
People up here are nicer, it seems, than the city. They're not, you know, always out for something. They're more honest, it seems.
It was a change of pace that, you know, that we had to get used to. We were used to living different. It's a lot calmer up here, so we enjoy living that way now.
Life in the White Mountains seems to build a sense of self-reliance and perseverance. For the Seminos, this has meant more time at work and less time at play.
When it snows in the mountains, you stay in your house. So, and everything we make basically is sold down into Long Island or Connecticut. So as many lamps as we make are sold, so we just work hard all winter long. We still get lost in the area because we're busy working all the time.
Like the first settlers of Gorham who came to work on the railroad, the Seminos view this town along the Androscoggin as a place to begin anew and a place to grow.
There's a future. There's still a chance up here.
That's the headwater. Flows through to Bath, Maine.
All the way to Bath.
Into what they call Androscoggin Bay.
And it provides power. Whether you're a native of Gorham or a newcomer, you've probably seen or talked with Jasper Hogan. He's sort of the town's living legend, having been born and raised in Shelburne, a town a few miles down the Androscoggin 82 years ago. Jasper Hogan knows the woods and mountains of this area like no other. He's hiked, surveyed, and lived in them most of his life. And he still takes to the trails. For Jasper Hogan, 82 years young, an honorary member of the Appalachian Mountain Club, a daily hike in the woods or along the Androscoggin is the way to live life to its fullest.
I'm going to get in my daily average.
What is your daily average?
Oh,
5?
My weekly average would be about 35, 5. Of course, I don't hike every day.
You don't?
Oh, no.
Depends on the weather?
Some days I have housework, and some days I go to a dinner. We have a dinner 2 days a week over to our community center.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, they have meals for seniors.
I see.
They call it Meals on Wheels.
Do you qualify?
Are you? This here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the workman. Part-time. That was really for them.
Years ago, when Jasper worked for the paper mill, he was a surveyor, spending several days at a time in the woods. In the days before four-wheel drive vehicles, snowshoes were the only way to travel the mountains of the presidential range.
The first highest one, this is a long slope, that's Mount Madison, and you can see two peaks, the Adams, and away on the right, Jefferson.
What is it you like about this area? What's the best part about this country?
Oh, the woods. The woods, definitely. I can stay in the woods, camp out day after day.
Peter's been talking about Jasper for 3 weeks, and now I know why.
My favorite New Hampshire character.
What a sweet man he is. In a moment, shushing down the great ravine in your shorts, getting out the spring skis when Chronicle continues.
Tuckerman's Ravine. It's only 40 feet deep this time of year instead of 75 in the wintertime. And if you're looking for the real hardy New England recreation buffs in spring, this is where to find them. Tuckerman's Ravine is a natural snow bowl. The head wall has a 55-degree angle. You can only reach the top of the ravine by hiking, but those in the know say the trip down is worth the struggle up. Down here in the Androscoggin Valley, the buds are finally beginning to open and the warm breezes are being felt. But the way you know spring has come to the North Country is to head for the Snow Bowl up in Tuckerman's Ravine. On the east side of Mount Washington, where land stands on end and rocks seem to hang in space, is the catch basin for the wind-blown snows of the Presidential Range. Tuckerman's Ravine was named after a botanist who used to hike the area in the 1800s. And what a hike he had. When you stand on top of the head wall, you're facing a 12,000-foot drop with a 55-degree angle. There are no ski lifts here. The only way you get up and down Tuckerman's is by your own ingenuity and your own two legs. Starting at the base of the trail, skiers must first hike 2.5 miles, laden with the major essentials.
Food and skis and beer.
Before even reaching the mouth of the ravine.
I feel like I'm headed up Everest or something.
For the next hour, the skiers slowly make their way up to Tuckerman's, some more enthusiastically than others.
I've never done this before. I've heard of it for years.
You've never done this?
Never.
Oh, going over the head wall, you feel like the world's dropping away from you. There's nothing below you, and you keep going, and it gets steeper and steeper, and you can't see what's below you, and pretty soon you're at the point where you can't stop, and you're committed.
Started at 7 o'clock and we lost the fear.
We don't go up into the highest stuff. We stay down where it's a little more moderate. But I think next year he'll be dragging me up higher.
Tuckerman's Ravine has become a rite of spring in New Hampshire. After the snow melts elsewhere, it's a place to get in a few extra runs. And a start on your summer tan. But it's a tradition that began long ago. In the 1930s, Jasper Hogan was a guide in Tuckerman's Ravine and remembers the day a world record was set.
This Tony Matt, this Austrian, he beat Durant's record by just a few seconds, because he got off course and he come right over the head wall, the big head wall. Another fellow and I was at the foot of the little head wall, but we saw him when he went by and he was just a streak.
Not much has changed on Tuckerman since the days of Tony Matt. This can be a dangerous place for the unwary and the untrained novice. In an average year, 1 person will die on Tuckerman's, a skier or ice climber, and 15 will be injured. And with the snow bowl as deep as 75 feet, a rescue can take hours. Park Ranger Brad Ray describes one sure way of getting down.
People come over it, and if they fall, they usually just slide all the way down to the bottom. And it's one of the great things about falling up in here, if you pick your right fall line, is that the fall doesn't really hurt you, it's the sudden stops. You can still say you did it, you don't have to tell them how you did it.
And what does it take to ski down a 55-degree angle?
A lot of guts, a little bit of craziness.
Guts.
Just steady, old-fashioned, full-rigged ship.
Spring fever has hit the North Country. Up in the mountains, the snow may still be deep, but a warm sun and warm breeze make it seem like a blanket covering the earth. And below, the waters of the Androscoggin are free of ice, reflecting the blue skies of springtime.